So the Sun newspaper has earned itself a reputation for shocking articles and bad behaviour in the past. This week's Cheltenham Festival is no different, and in my opinion this is outrageous, a borderline scam. I'm referring to this article published a couple of days back. To the average punter it might seem like a standard piece, but it's not. There are certainly a few secrets within it, just not the ones that you might expect, so I'm going to expose it. But I think it's important that I explain the technicalities in a way that anyone can understand. If you're a racing fan, £1 punter on the Grand National, or not at all. There are quite a few entities making a fortune out of deception here. So this article was published in the Sun newspaper a few days before the Cheltenham Festival. I'll breeze over it now to give you some background and the points that I need to make. So this article starts with a headline about meeting a secret group of Cheltenham Festival punters who bash the bookies for thousands with huge wins, before it goes on to say a little bit about being huddled around their screens, being very secretive about what they're doing, as you might expect, and then showing us a mobile phone bet slip for Bet365 with a potential cash out on there and no bet ID. Now this, to me, in my position already, is a massive red flag. There's two bet slips here. I don't mean the bet IDs. We'll come on to the numbers and I'll explain why in just a second. But already my bullshit radar is at 100%. The article then goes on to make a series of different claims, saying that these punters are successful to the tune of tens of thousands of pounds. Obviously it's not in the public domain because it's so secret. The claims are not backed up at all, and I actually wonder how the Sun would stand against the ASA if somebody were to put a complaint in here. It goes on to say that there's a £10 bet with a cash out potential of just under £600. I can only assume that means the bet slip that's in this article a little bit further up. Again, we'll devour that in just a second. It says that this group of punters are placing anti-post bets already, and plenty of multiples and lots of other BS for next year. But to be quite honest, for anybody who follows this channel already, is even mildly savvy with betting, they'll know, and also from the previous exposing video about Bet365, that this is just not possible with this company. As we go further down the article, you can see that there's a section with lots of affiliate links and adverts. It does state that they, receive money for clicking those links, but there's several different bookmakers mentioned there, particularly some of the worst sports books around, including William Hill, which our last video was about. Further down the article, again, there's even more what I would consider to be outrageous claims. Two mystery bets that they mention there, there's no proof of whatsoever, saying that there's claims that the cash out is worth around about £2,000. There's also claims saying that £30,000 last year doing similar things. A small section where they sort of try and humanise the situation and say that there's no egos. This is purely about horse racing and the horses, which is quite confusing considering this group of the mystery 5 punters must have gone to the Sun newspaper to get an article produced about them, even though they've got no ego, and they want to talk about horse racing and they don't want to talk about price, which is a routine theme from bookmakers, funny enough, and super affiliates. Further down it says that there's more claims, potential winnings, £48,000, £117,000, outrageous amounts, and claims, in my opinion, with no evidence to back it up because it's obviously so secret, before ending with more affiliate adverts, more affiliate links, and a responsible gambling warning, just to cover their arse, because, in my belief and my view of this article, it's completely irresponsible what they're doing here. But it gets a lot darker, and there is some secrets here. It's just not really the secrets that they're showing us. So the problem, which is the point I want to get onto, let's devour these bet slips from Bet365 that directly contradict both my experiences displayed on this channel and thousands of you guys that actually follow this channel in the past. So we've got two bet slips here, 3 selections on each of them. They're both trebles. One has got a potential return of 81,900, the other one's got a potential return of 74,360, both for £10 stakes. Now, anti-post markets are usually quite fragile. Bookmakers are very careful about the amount of liability that they lay, in particular Bet365, and I find it questionable from the outset, maybe it's possible, that they would lay that amount of risk on such selections, and it must have been well over a year ago before the Cheltenham Festivals even come around. But to be honest, that's neither here nor there, because professional punters, people that are successful, take value from the markets, win over the longer term, are restricted extremely fast by Bet365. The last account that I was aware of, where a friend placed some bets and I sort of helped him with some advice, their account was restricted within 3 hours. Okay, so Bet365 don't allow that. They do things like, we'll show it on screen here, where they restrict you to 76 pence. So I find this group of people, which, you know, surprise, surprise, them being so secretive is perfect for the Sun in their article, because I think it's highly likely that they probably don't even exist, but that's just my opinion. Now, looking at the bet slips themselves, a professional would not use a sportsbook like Bet365 to place multiples and then cash out on, especially given how they treat professional customers and refuse to pay out. So if we look at this first slip, Facile Vega was priced 14 to 1, Verborn 20 to 1, Mighty Potter 25 to 1, presumably this must have been a very, very long time ago, stake £10, total returns 81,900. If we look at the current pricing and compare that and see what the cash out value is like in comparison, you'll see exactly why a professional would never ever do this. So the current price this morning is 2.37 with Facile Vega, 2.87 with Verborn, and 9.0 with Mighty Potter on Bet365. The cumulative odds for that current multiple is 61.2. So that means that if you were to cash out at those prices that Bet365 are offering their current customers this morning on those 3 horses for that multiple, then the current cash out would be £1,338.23. Now, when you compare that to the cash out that they're offering there on the screen of £569.37, that's a difference of £768.91. Why would you do that to yourself? You just wouldn't, especially when you know what you're doing. If we look at the second slip, then Brandy Love was 25 to 1, Dissect Dynamo was 10 to 1, Verborn was 25 to 1. Put them against the current prices of 4.33, 3.25 and 2.87. That means the cumulative odds of the current cash out is 40.38, and therefore they should be offering you a cash out of £1,866.27, the difference of £1,100.13. You just wouldn't be doing this, because it would make you a total moron, and the people that make money from betting are certainly not stupid. But here's the kicker. How much do you think Sunbets is likely to make from articles like this? If we take a look at those affiliate schemes for the affiliates that they've listed throughout that article, you'll soon see. You see, the Sun website gets around about 90 million hits a month, which is a lot of eyeballs. And these betting affiliate schemes pay upwards of 30% commission on your losses. So people read the article, click the link, and they get a commission for the amount of money that you lose. A terrible practice that you'd think other media sources would like to expose. I mean, what would Matt Chapman say? Oh wait, yep, he's on the gravy train too, which is why this issue is not being dealt with in the public, because this bad behaviour isn't in isolation. Many other papers, presenters and bookies are at it, as I reveal in this upload about William Hill's shocking behaviour after one of you guys deposited just £10. Check it out, it's a real eye-opener that you can't afford to miss. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like the video and subscribe.